You remember how to do this, Matt?
What's up, guys?
Hey!
Boys are back.
We're back.
We're back!
I was going to say insert Sam Ellinger fucking at Texas. My goodness, it's been a while. It's been at least a month here.
Yeah.
But welcome to episode 62 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast, and we are back with an absolute banger of an episode. My personal favorite episode every year to film, our mock draft special, where you'll see us go through an entire round one mock. Some picks you'll like, some picks you won't. Simple as that. I think this year is going to be a very special year because everyone's mock is going to be completely different. If you look back last year, everyone kind of knew where everyone was going within the first 5 picks at least. Everyone kind of knew, had an idea. The thing with this year is it's been a long time since we've had no idea who's going at 1, which to me is lovely. Obviously, there was Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow before that. I think the last shocker was Kyler Murray. Everyone knew that Kyler Murray was going to go on the day of, but leading up to it, no one really knew until Adam Schefter tweeted it like the day of, saying reports are saying Kyler Murray is number 1 on the Arizona Cardinals list.
I think the last real one was actually Baker Mayfield when Baker went number 1.
That was probably the biggest shocker, yeah. I agree. So before we start, 136 days away from the start of the regular season. I'm fired up. This is my favorite week of the NFL year, not inside of the NFL regular season and playoffs. Listen, we're filming on Monday night, so if any trades happen after now, don't
Fuck you.
hold us.
We don't care.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
But yeah, so basically how this episode's going to work, we're each going to go around saying one thing that's like a little bit special about our mocks before. Then we're going to go pick by pick, each saying what are from 1 to 32, let's say. And then at the end, we're going to give you a couple prop bets that we think you should capitalize on. But yeah, without further ado, let's start. One thing that's a little bit special about mine, I think everyone's going to have like a very different 1 to 15. I have a couple guys falling. I did my mock on PFF mock, so a lot of like the ADP, like the average draft pick, are like off. But the thing I think that sets mine apart is I actually have 3 trades in mine. Don't know if that really sets mine apart, but it's just a little value to add. I definitely think people are going to be moving around in this draft. Adam Schefter tweeted it today that not a lot of people are looking to move up, but a lot of people are looking to move down. So that's something to look at, interestingly enough. But yeah, here we go. Dawson with a mouthful of pizza here.
Quesadilla, actually.
Quesadilla.
But firstly, I'd like to welcome LBS to the mock draft special. He was not with us last year, so thank you for joining us, sir.
Truly my pleasure.
to kind of counteract what I heard from Liam earlier in the day about my mock draft, I have more quarterbacks going than anyone here, I can probably guarantee. We say it's not a quarterback heavy, but like the ceiling on these quarterbacks isn't super high, we don't think, but I feel like every year there's 1 or 2 guys and then the rest are whatever average Qs, and they still end up going. What's that?
Is it wrong is it like a spoiler if I ask you how many you have?
I think it is, but I have some surprising teams. But I have 4 Qs going round 1.
Yeah, you see, I have 4 too. So
okay, I'll go fuck myself.
Is it wrong to say that quarterbacks are the worst graded talents every year leading up to the draft?
I can see that.
Like most inaccurate, you mean?
That's exactly what I mean. Like it just.
I like to think so, but I also like to think that sometimes you get receivers that are major busts in the first round.
That's because teams just value speed. Like
It's
like John Ross
ruining talent evaluation.
Like John Ross was not supposed to go inside the top 20, and he went 11 because he broke the record for the fastest 40.
Right, and he's
Just
away.
saying, Trayvon Walker was not looked
Had a
at.
crazy. He wasn't even a first round pick. Had a crazy combine, and now there's talks that he might go number 1.
I'll give it to Daniel Jeremiah, whose first mock draft I think had him inside the top 5. But other than that, I did not see one where he was anywhere near the top of the first round. So, anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Well, as Dawson alluded, I told the boys earlier, no quarterbacks are going in the first round in my mock draft. Dawson said it. He doesn't think that, or a lot of people don't think that. There's a lot of elite quarterbacks in this draft, and I'm one of them. But you'll have to see my mock.
It's so hard to say. I'm more or less on board with that statement that there aren't any elite quarterbacks, but
I'm fully ready to sit here right now and deem that Malik Willis could win the MVP in the NFL. I will sit here and I would bet on him winning one in his NFL career.
But there's so much there's so many non-physical ways to evaluate quarterbacks that we just don't have the capacity to do that.
Right.
Anyways, it is what it is. We'll see. I'm excited to see how this turns out. What sets mine apart? I don't really know. I have a huge name outside of the top 10. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to go any further than that, but I have a massive name outside the top 10. I do have a quarterback. I have less than 3 quarterbacks going in the first round. That's just the way I see it. But like you guys said, there's always teams that are going to reach for a quarterback. It's probably the most reached for position in the draft. So yeah, not a lot of quarterbacks. Huge name dropping outside the top 10 and 0 trades. No trades. I don't even want to mess around.
Yeah, me too. Fuck trades.
Even though I'm almost positive
there's going to be plenty. Yeah,
there's going to be trades.
There's obviously going to be a trade, but I'm positive that I know which teams will make trades. And anyways, I just didn't throw that in. So yeah, mine's going to be a little different.
Same.
There's not much really that kind of sets mine apart from what you guys were talking about, except for I do have 3 teams that would go early in the second round, trading back into the first round. So
Indy?
No. One of them is not Indy. I will throw that spoiler out. It's not something I see Chris Ballard doing, so I can't throw him. But I got 3 teams that are trading back in the last handful of picks.
All right, someone spoil it for me. Does anyone have Indianapolis making a pick today?
Unfortunately, not.
God fucking damn it. Okay.
So
maybe if you give me a reason to make that pick, I'll throw it in at the last.
That would have been me last year, so I'm glad I wasn't there.
listen, I've been adamant about it. I really don't want the Saints to take a quarterback with 16 or 19. But if Liam is right and Malik Willis falls to 16, I'll be okay with it, with them taking him, as long as they take a receiver at 19. Do I think that Malik Willis is going to fall to 16? I guess you'll see in my mock draft. Don't think so. But here we go.
Let's fucking get into it.
You're lucky. I had the Saints taking a quarterback, and I switched it out just because I wasn't ready for the backlash from that.
So I'm not gonna give you any backlash because they're gonna fucking do it, and it's gonna break my heart. And listen, anyways, insert the best soundbite in any sport.
Did you hear it?
Not really, but din 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 din. Exactly.
Who's out for Roger Goodell?
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that Trayvon Walker is moving up the draft boards, is going to be pick number 1. Currently the odds-on favorite. To me, the through most NFL-ready player in this draft. Almost won the Heisman this year with the first overall pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars take a surefire pro in Aiden Hutchinson, edge rusher, out of Michigan.
I believe the hype. With the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker, edge, Georgia.
Love it. So I actually asked someone who's a Jags fan to tell me their opinion on who the Jags are going to pick, because to me it was a coin flip. I don't know if you guys remember Eric Dunn. He was a big Vine guy back in the day.
Yeah.
A big Jags fan. I've been following him on Twitter since then. So I shot him a little DM. This is what he told me.
Oh, he got back to you?
He got back to me. He said,
That's incredible.
He said Balky wants Walker Shad wants fucking Hutch. Balky basically owns the Jags, so Walker. So you guys heard it here. Trayvon Walker's getting picked first.
Why is this the first time hearing of this? First of all,
Seriously, why
Second of
why
all-
did this just get brought up?
second of all, get Eric Dunn on the pod.
Facts.
With all due respect, what does Shad Khan know about football? And that's what makes me worried here. But I'm gonna ride with Matt here. The Jags at 1 are gonna take Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know. He's been the number 1 guy for so long now, and it's been really the last week that Trayvon Walker's kind of been getting buzz as a number 1, maybe the last 2 weeks. So I'm gonna stay with the guy who has won for 4 or 5 months.
I saw something on Twitter today, and it might be crazy to base my decision off of, but it said the reason that Trent Baalke will not take Aiden Hutchinson is because he hates Harbaugh. So I think they're going to go Trayvon Walker for that reason, which is a terrible thing to base who you're drafting. Do I think Trayvon Walker is necessarily a game-breaking talent at number 1? No. But I do think he's one of those guys. He's like Jadeveon Clowney, who is an edge rusher that's very good in the run game and could help play alongside Josh Allen for the next 10, 15 years. So I'm going Trayvon Walker at 1.
Yo, before we move on, like, am I crazy for thinking that, like, Hutchinson, I think, is, like, the best, like, pro player in the draft? Like, he's the most ready guy. But I also think, like, his ceiling is limited. I don't
think he's going to be what everybody thinks he is.
That's what I'm trying
I'm not
to
going to
get at,
throw
but
out the bust status.
No.
No. He's not going to have 13 and a half sacks every year like he did at Michigan this year.
That's what I'm getting at. So I don't know.
To me, like, that's the thing about this draft. To me, is that there's no, like, to me, there's not a lot of players in this draft that I think are going to become instant all-stars, like fucking Jamar Chase, who's already a top 10 receiver in the NFL, or Trevor Lawrence, who's a surefire NFL quarterback, or anything like that. Like, last year's draft to me was so much more loaded than it is this year. This year, I think it's just a bunch of guys who are going to help teams, but aren't going to be fucking future NFL stars. And I could be completely wrong about that.
I think the guy with the most potential to be an all-pro player is a guy that might not even go in the first round in Tyler Linderbaum. I think he has the most potential to be an all-pro in the NFL.
It's really possible. There's a couple good fucking tackles in this draft too. So, but yeah. Anyways, number 2, the Detroit Lions select Trayvon Walker, Georgia, edge rusher.
Let the slide begin.
Wow.
The Detroit Lions pass on the Michigan boy, Aiden Hutchinson, and take the Oregon edge, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me dirty.
That's nuts. I think this simplifies things for Detroit here. They have to take Aiden Hutchinson. I don't think they let him. The decision's made when Trayvon Walker goes 1, I think, for Detroit. So Aiden Hutchinson goes 2.
Yeah, this pick for me, like, first of all, let the fireworks begin. I don't think you guys are ready for this. I'm a little bit surprised I'm the only one or I might not be the only one, but I think if Trayvon Walker goes 1, Detroit is without a doubt taking Aiden Hutchinson. But I think there's a possibility that Jacksonville does take Hutchinson. And in that case, Detroit's not going to wait. At number 2, the Detroit Lions select Malik Willis.
Wow.
Whoa.
I agree 100% with what Cam said about, I think if Hutchinson's there at 2, they're going to take him. But I have Hutchinson at 2. And as Dawson said, let the slide begin, because I'm also going Malik Willis here at 2.
Let's go.
I think, and I'm gonna back it up a little bit here, and I'm sure Cam will agree with it, but there's teams next year that have 2 first-round picks. You look at a team like the Dolphins. If 2 is not the guy, Detroit's going to be at the bottom of the barrel again next year. If 2 is not the guy, Miami's calling you, giving you 2 first-round picks for either Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. Plus, okay? So that offense, you look at the offense they built. If DJ Chark, he's only on a 1-year contract now, but if he gets there and he proves that, he's the 1,000-yard receiver he was in Jacksonville, with Amon St. Brown, the O-line they built, that offense is just a quarterback away if DJ Chark hangs around and coming off a terrible injury. I wouldn't have Malik Willis play a single snap this year, though. Get him in there. Let him sit behind Goff. Let him do it. Well, Trey Lance did. He played some snaps, but sit there, learn from a vet, and just learn the system of what you want to learn, because the year after, he'll know the system. Maybe he didn't get snaps, but he knows the system. He comes in the training camp as QB1. Malik Willis comes in and could have, like I said before, I think he's an NFL MVP in the future. Maybe he follows the Patrick Mahomes suit and goes MVP in his first year as a starter.
Just one note on that. I think, just on that, you're talking about next year, which is obviously there's a couple quarterbacks who everybody's looking at already. But if he's their guy, there was talks. I remember when mock drafts first started coming out, Malik Willis going at 32. In my opinion, there's no way that's going to happen. So if he's your guy, Atlanta's probably looking at him. Carolina's definitely looking at him. Yeah, great combine, great pro day. He's on the radar right now, big time as a top 10.
I'm call me crazy, and I thought about putting this in the mock draft, but if the Saints,
you're crazy.
If the Saints like Malik Willis enough, are they going to sit there and watch Carolina pick him if he's there at 6? Probably not. They're going to try and make a move up with the Giants at 5 to get Malik Willis. So if he's your guy, he's not falling. I don't think he's falling outside the top 10. So if he's your guy, go get him. And like I said, if Tua's not the guy in Miami, they're going to offer you the 2 first-round picks. If Jalen Hurts is not the guy in Philly, they're going to offer the 2 first-round picks. There's teams that need a quarterback. I don't think Hurts deserves to have that label on him. I do think Tua does, though. But this is Tua's make-or-break year with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and all that. So take the chance that you're going to get a top 2 pick next year, and someone's going to come calling for Stroud or Bryce Young, and you already got your quarterback for the future.
All right, moving on. Number 3, the Houston Texans are picking. I'm going tackle here for the Texans. I think there's 3 very, very, not similar, but very, very good tackles in this draft. Top 10 worthy, 100%. So really it is a coin flip, a 3-sided coin flip between these tackles for me. But at number 3, I have them going Ike Ekwonu out of North Carolina State. Guy's a freak, man. Had a freak combine too. He's one of those guys that shot up the ranks after his combine. Really excited to see what he's gonna do, and I think it's honestly the Texans could go on all 3 of them, and I don't think they're gonna miss on either one. So there it is.
The slide continues. Aiden Hutchinson is passed by the Houston Texans because they're fucking panicking. They're like, we didn't expect to be here. What do we do? They go ahead and they take Sauce Gardner at 3, corner at a Cincy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Matt here. I think the Texans have positional needs everywhere, and why not add a fucking freak on the O-line?
That killed me. Fucking PFF mock. They give like positional needs for every team, and the Texans just says every position.
Yeah.
That's fucking jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Matt said it. You can't miss on any of these tackles. Evan Neal, Cross, or Ekwonu early. So I think they take Ekwonu.
I'm believing the hype in another prospect that has not been mentioned yet. Getting a lot of buzz as a top 3 pick. Like you guys said, the Texans have needs everywhere. I think a franchise corner is hard to come by. So at 3, the Texans are going to take Derek Stingley out of LSU.
Wow.
Love that.
This is absolutely wild. I swear to God, we did not talk about this, but Houston's taking Derek Stingley.
Okay. There's some what's it called? Collusion happening here.
Yeah, big time.
That's crazy. I thought for sure I was gonna be the only one that.
Yeah, me too. I thought
I got Hutch still falling.
Me too, Shane.
I'm the opposite.
We're all over this, boys.
Guys, I think if Hutch slides past 3, he's not getting past 4, especially now that the Jets have 10. There's no way that the Jets would pass up on him or not trade down. I think someone would be like, it's impossible. Anyways, number 4, I haven't had any trades yet. The New York Jets. This is my first reach. I think the receiver class is very, very good this year. I think depth-wise, it's better than last year. Top-heavy, not so much. I mean, top-heavy last year was one of the best we've seen. But to me, with any of like the top 4 or 5 receivers, I don't think you're going to miss this year, which is good. But to me, surefire, my number one guy, and he's been since the start of the year, Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Positional nightmare and a matchup nightmare for anyone. Guy's a freak. Don't necessarily know if he's gonna go through the roof like Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle did. But I really think you can't miss with Garrett Wilson if you need a receiver. The Jets take him and they freaking run with it.
So the Jets are on the clock now for me. GM absolutely panicking. What do? Aiden Hutchinson's there. What do? They call up Zach Wilson. They say, hey, Zach, what do you want to do? And Zach Wilson says, go get me a fucking left tackle. So with the 4th overall pick, the New York Jets or right tackle, they're taking another O-line. Okay, they're taking Evan Neal out of Bama at 4.
Ooh. That's the safe pick. That's the safe pick.
Yeah, I think, and for my mock, I got the Jets taking a flyer on Thibodeau here. I still think he has a great ceiling, and you can't let that guy slide any further. So the Jets take him at 4, and add a great edge piece to their defense.
Yeah, this is the most mocked spot I've seen him. At least in the last few days. I think Saleh really wants to. He's a defensive guy. Obviously, we know that. Always had good edges in San Fran. So if he's there at 4, I think it's got to be him or Hutch, or if Trayvon Walker's there too. But for me, at 4, with a corner just coming off the board and the Jets defense, like we said, in shambles, they're gonna take Ahmad Gardner out of Cincy. Back-to-back corners in the top 5 for me. If it plays out the way I think it might, like this, then I think it's like how it happens every year. Once one guy starts going, teams have needs. They think he might be there at 10, but if Stingley's gone at 3, then they might panic. So
I have a similar trend further down the line.
I think I don't think Saleh calls up Zach Wilson on this pick. I'm not going to. I think he sat there and said, you know what, I got you a receiver last year after drafting you number 2. Cam touched on it. Always had great edge rushers in San Francisco. He's going to stop the Hutch slide. He's not going to buy into the why is he sliding. He's going to sit there. He's going to take Hutch, and he's going to run with that pick. He's going to run to the podium with that pick.
All right, moving on to a star pick here because
we're on the clock, baby.
It's one of our hosts' favorite teams. So the New York Giants pick at 5. And personally, I think this is the best tackle in the draft. Huge bias because I'm an Alabama fan.
I will run down the streets if Evan Neal is a Giant on Thursday night.
I watched him all year. Guy's a freaking freak. He's 300-something pounds, and he looks like he's fucking 230. It makes no sense. Guy's a freak of nature as a tackle. I think he's going to be the best tackle out of this class. He's going to be an immediate star, immediate X factor. Evan Neal, Alabama tackle to the Giants at 5.
Well, he can't slide any further. At 5, the New York Football Giants select Aiden Hutchinson, edge Michigan.
After I just said I think he's going to be a bust.
Fuck.
If he's a Giant, he's going to break Strahan's record for most sacks.
Here we go.
Yeah, I got the Giants going in a similar direction as Matt here. They're going to go tackle. But I've been seeing a lot that they like Charles Cross, so that's the guy I'm putting in there. Again, I said it before. I don't think you can miss with the top 3 guys. They're all fucking physical freaks.
Physical freaks.
Physical freaks.
Been a long night.
Yeah, they all pass block well. They all run block. There's no miss. There's no miss.
All
so
right.
wait. So here's my question to you, Shane. If all 3 of those tackles fall to 5, who's your guy?
I think they wait.
No, but who would you want?
There. I want Ikonu.
Okay.
But I would be happy with any of them. But I think they sit there and they force Carolina to make the decision. And then at 7, they go tackle.
Yeah, I have the exact same line.
And that's what I put into my mock draft.
So at 5, again, no tackles off the board yet for me. Listen, will it play out that way? probably unlikely at this point, just based on what I've seen. But at 5 with Thibodeau still sitting there, the Giants are going to take him. Like you said, Shane, wait for Carolina to do something. So, yeah, they're going to take Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think you can mess with him. There might be, shades of personality problems, but I think he's a superstar. So,
Just touched on it. All 3 tackles on the board. Giants are going to make. I do think Charles Cross is their guy. I don't think that Carolina is going to take Charles Cross of the 3. I do think that Charles Cross would be their 3rd option. Giants are going to take that risk because is it really a risk if the other 2 guys are still sitting on the board? They take the best edge rusher in this draft in Kayvon Thibodeau at 5.
You and Cam have identical mocks so far?
other than 4, yeah.
Yeah, you had Trayvon Walker. Huh? Yeah.
No, I had Hutch. So, yeah, never mind.
Okay, yeah, so we just –
But 2, 3, and 5, yeah.
Okay, so we go to 6 where the Carolina Panthers are picking. So these guys are drenched in sweat now because the Giants picked up the phone. They called the Panthers when they had 5. And they said, I have the Saints on my line. I got the Falcons on my line. And they're offering me heavy, not knowing that they were bluffing. So they asked the Panthers, you got something better to offer? The Panthers said, nope. They called the bluff. They've had Malik Willis fall right onto their lap. They take their next franchise quarterback, Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. I think he's going to be a fucking phenomenal talent. And I think the Panthers are, as it pains me to say, since they're in the Saints division, I think they're going to hit a home run with this guy.
So the draft has settled down. Hutch is off the board. Everything is kind of back to normal now. I have the Panthers taking my favorite tackle in the draft. They go Ikonwu at 6.
Jeez. Yeah, so I have the Giants and just the way the draft unfolded, forcing the Panthers' hand here. You know, either they can go and get Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett, whoever they like at quarterback, or they can go get the last, top 3 O-linemen and Evan Neal and add a guy to protect Sam Darnold. I mean, Darnold's not a bot. He can still deal it. And you know what? You may as well go and get a sure thing at offensive tackle and Evan Neal and protect Sam Darnold. So at 6, the Panthers select Evan Neal out of Alabama.
Yeah, I think it's got to be tackle or quarterback here. Obviously, Malik Willis off the board for me, so I'm going to go with Ike Ekwonu here at 6 for Carolina. I think it's a no-brainer. Like we said, all 3 of them are likely to go inside the top 10 or if not close. So
I think if one drops, someone's trading for it. So
absolutely,
yeah.
I had Carolina taking a quarterback for the longest time, and then when Ben McAdoo basically came out and said Sam Darnold's my quarterback, I switched it to tackle. The first tackle off the board in my draft, Big Icky goes to Carolina.
All right, so here we go. Another star pick. The Giants are right back in at 7. They traded down last year with Chicago so they could draft Justin Fields, and they get the 7th overall pick. I think that's great value for the trade that they got. And they said, hey, welcome, Kayvon Thibodeau, who fell all the way to 7.
Let's go.
And they take a very the guy who was ranked number 1 before the year started, and then he didn't really play that much. So
I'm gonna buy the first Kayvon Thibodeau Giants jersey.
And that's what happens. They end up getting Kayvon Thibodeau for Justin Fields, and they take it and run.
Let's go. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Hello.
Hey.
After the Giants draft board explodes and Aiden Hutchinson falls to them at 5, they get their guy per se, as Shane said, at 7. Charles Cross, tackle, Mississippi State, shore up that O-line. It's a good first round for Giants fans. Giants fans are happy.
Yeah, I think the Giants draft board in my mock is they're celebrating. They're popping champagne in the war room already because they can go and add Sauce Gardner. You added Charles Cross and Sauce Gardner onto your team. Those are 2 guys who will make an immediate impact on your team. So I think they're celebrating.
Oh man, LBS, you're getting the biggest hug of Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
I only have the number one prospect in the draft going to you. That's fine.
Like 5 minutes after I said I think he could be a bust.
Okay.
Yeah, for me here, like I said, this is the way I think the Giants wanted to play out, so they can wait till 7 to take a tackle. And so with that, I think they're taking Evan Neal here. That's what I got them doing. It could be Cross, not sure, but I think they're definitely going tackle with one of these two picks.
Yeah, I mean they're going tackle on this one. There's no chance they're gonna sit there and waste one of their picks not on a tackle if the three of those guys are still on the board when they're picking. Charles Cross, I strongly believe that's their guy. That's their guy they got probably number one on their board right now. He's a guy who could play right tackle. You showed up your left tackle 2 years ago. Andrew Thomas kind of started looking like the fourth overall pick last year. So you got Charles Cross at 7, Andrew Thomas at 4 2 years ago. DJ's pocket gets a little bit better, so I'll take Charles Cross and I'll be a happy man about it.
Mike Glennon's pocket, baby.
Oh man, he's not even signed anymore. Tyrod Taylor's pocket.
All right, so then we move to 8, which sees the Atlanta Falcons, and they say, "Hey, one of the best tackles in this draft fell to me. I'm taking Charles Cross and running with it."
I don't think they're taking O-line if he's there. They built their whole O-line in the first round like 4 years ago.
Well, Atlanta is my first team to take a receiver off the board here. They take a gamble. Get it? Because Calvin Ridley, gambling. They take a gamble. They go Garrett Wilson. I think that, like, for me, the consensus number one receiver.
I don't think it's a gamble.
Yeah, they take him at 8, wide receiver out of OSU.
I like it. I think I don't know. I think Atlanta could go many different ways, and I'm gonna have them. I don't know how much of a reach this is, but I have Jermaine Johnson coming off the board.
Wow.
I think you may as well go get a long edge rush guy. You know, guys like that never go out of style in the NFL.
Last chance you, baby.
Exactly.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
So you have an older guy. He's been through the ringer. I think, he comes in and he's going to be ready to be a pro. I think he transferred to Florida State last year, had a sick year. So, and I've been seeing a lot.
He went from a great defensive program to another great defensive program. So,
and I've been seeing a lot of stuff about him, climbing up the ranks in the draft here. So
that's another thing, Daniel Jeremiah. I'll give him a shout out for that. He had him in the top 10 and nobody had him in the first round.
Yeah. So the Falcons take a flyer on him here and, hope he works out.
I have the Falcons also taking a flyer here. I'm not even sure this is the best fit for them given who's on the board, but consensus number one receiver from like a month or two ago. I have the Falcons taking Drake London here. Out of USC, huge receiver. Guy's 6'5". He's not super fast, but he's long. His catch radius is insane. I think he's a piece that you can use for a long time. I don't think he'll necessarily be like a dominant number one receiver, but definitely very useful.
Big even after taking Kyle Pitts last year?
I do.
Just going to win every fucking jump ball?
Can't go wrong with it. I mean, as long as Mariota's starting. But I do think if Malik Willis is there for them, they go with him. I could see it also being Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, any receiver or offensive weapon, honestly.
I think they're going to obviously miss Calvin Ridley. They're going to look for a guy who's somewhat similar to him. So at 8, they're going to go Garrett Wilson, the consensus number one receiver. Stretch the field a little bit. You got Kyle Pitts to be your jump ball guy. To me, it just makes sense to go for a route runner that could stretch the field.
All right, so basically how we're going to do it is we split the draft into like 4 parts, like 1 to 8. 9 to 16, whatever. So after 8 picks, we'll just run through what we have so far. So I have 1 Jags, Aiden Hutchinson, 2 Lions, Trayvon Walker, 3 Texans, Ike Ekwonu, 4 Jets, Garrett Wilson, 5 Giants, Evan Neal, 6 Panthers, Malik Willis, 7 Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau, 8 Falcons, Charles Cross, and none of us really have a trade. So there we go. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah, I got Trayvon Walker at 1 to the Jags. Lions take Thibodeau at 2. Texans take Sauce Gardner at 3. Jets take Evan Neal at 4. Aiden Hutchinson falls to the Giants at 5. Panthers take Ike Ekwonu at 6. Giants take Charles Cross at 7. And the Atlanta Falcons take the first receiver off the board for me, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, so the Jags take Trayvon Walker at 1. Lions take Hutchinson at 2. Houston drafts Ekwonu at 3. Thibodeau goes to the Jets at 4. Cross to the Giants at 5. Evan Neal to the Panthers at 6. There goes the 3 offensive tackles. Sauce Gardner to the Giants at 7. And Jermaine Johnson to the Falcons at 8. No receivers taken yet.
Aiden Hutchinson is still going 1 for me. The Jags are going to take Hutchinson. Shocker at 2, Detroit taking Malik Willis. At 3, Houston's taking Derek Stingley for me. At 4, another corner for the Jets, Ahmad Gardner. At 5, the Giants are going to take Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's a steal at 5. At 6, Carolina's taking Ike Ekwonu. At 7, the Giants get whoever their tackle guy is. For me, that's Evan Neal. And at 8, the Falcons take a chance on Drake London.
Let's talk about how Cam doesn't have Trayvon Walker going yet.
I told you there's someone
Out of the top.
there's a big name going outside. Anyways.
I mean, you could pretty much almost copy paste mine and Cam's mock drafts up at this
Why don't you guys
point.
just fucking kiss?
I mean, we're a little far.
Okay.
We got Trayvon Walker flying off the board first overall in Jacksonville. Malik Willis going at 2. Derek Stingley going at 3. Hutch goes to the Jets. Salah gets his guy coming off the edge. Kayvon Thibodeau. The Giants finally have a good pass rush with Aziz and Thibodeau. Icky goes to Carolina to protect Sam Darnold, their apparently franchise quarterback. Charles Cross protects whoever the hell's going to play quarterback for the Giants next year before they draft Bryce Young or CJ Stroud next year.
Eddie B.
Garrett Wilson goes number 8 to the Falcons to replace Calvin Ridley while he bets on his over props.
All right, and we move on to pick number 9, where Seattle has traded Russell Wilson to Denver. So they have the 9th pick, and they get their card, and they take the Sharpie, they take the cap off, and they hear the phone ring. And the Vikings just offer a trade that is just too hard to pass up. So we have a trade, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
The Vikings have traded up. Don't get me on the logistics. For the sake of this mock draft, I'm just going to have them swap positions. Obviously, they're going to have to offer more. Let them figure out the logistics. The Vikings trade from 12 to 9, and they take who they think is going to be their franchise corner in Sauce Gardner. I have 2
Makes
corners
it like
falling.
7 years in a row they take a corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they decide between Stingley and Gardner, and they ultimately decide on Sauce.
Yeah, I think a trade for Seattle is kind of realistic here. But I have them taking Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. Tackle.
Wow.
Wow, that's a reach.
Yeah.
That is a reach. I like it though. I
Wow.
like it.
Well, for
You
my
said
mock,
that so calm too, as if that wasn't like a massive name that just like
Yeah.
Well, for my-
Hey,
Respect the FCS, man.
bro, fucking protect your franchise quarterback, Drew Lock. And
yeah, you got to. Well, they're not doing any of that, and they're going to go out and get Derek Stingley Jr. Try to recreate that
LOB.
LOB, that crazy
I
secondary.
like that pick.
What feels like 10 years ago, but
I love that pick.
They're still one of the big 3 tackles on the board here for me. Seattle obviously needs every position on the O-line, but with Charles Cross still sitting here or Evan Neal, whoever it would be, in my mock draft, I have Seattle taking Charles Cross here at 9. Can't miss tackle. They need one, so.
We have a trade to announce,
Wow.
and one of you is gonna be very happy about this trade.
Well, it's not me.
yeah.
Unless you just change your mock.
There is one big tackle still on this board.
The Eagles don't need him, so.
There are two teams in this that have 2 first-round picks. New Orleans Saints trade up and select Evan Neal to replace Teron Armstead's departure. And they only traded one of the first-round picks I have here. I don't have the logistics, but they did swap one of their first-round picks, the first of their first-round picks, to Seattle.
They keep 19?
Yeah.
Didn't actually happen, by the way, Matt.
No.
Oh, I know. But now you're going to be fired up, Park.
They're going to stop Evan Neal's slide.
It's fun to live in a fucking fantasy land, but yeah. I'll take that.
If that happens, I'm turning my phone off. Because those texts in the group chat, there's going to be a lot of them.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
If this happens, I'm going to fucking run butt naked with a freaking Saints flag between my ass cheeks.
Okay, let's get the
draft
pick
watch
10.
party.
You know what?
All right.
I wish I could permanently erase that image from my memory.
All right. Well, listen. Now I'm fired up. Fuck. We go to 10, where the Jets have Seattle's pick from the Jamal Adams trade. And the Jets stop the slide, and they take the number 2 PFF ranked player in this draft, and Derek Stingley.
Yeah, I think since he was a freshman, like Derek Stingley, the hype around Derek Stingley was fucking huge. I think the Jets absolutely don't pass on him. I think they could potentially take him at 4, but I have them taking Derek Stingley at 10 because he's available in my mock draft.
Love it. I have the first receiver coming off my board here, and it's actually going to be Jameson Williams. Yeah.
I'm a boy.
I just like that fit in New York. You know, Zach Wilson loves that to throw that deep ball, and Williams, you know, has the best speed in the draft. So, or one of the top guys in there. So, I see this as a no-brainer for the Jets. I see it as a good fit for them.
I'm right with you, LBS. The Jets are taking Jameson Williams here at 10. Like for me, they get their corner at 4. Tons of receivers still on the board at 10 here. And like you said, just Zach Wilson loves to let it fly. So why not get the fastest guy in this draft?
Love it.
I haven't decided which direction I want to go yet. I have a massive trade that I think could happen, but I can also just take the Jets taking this pick. What do the boys want to hear?
I want to hear the trade.
Obviously, want to hear the trade.
All right. With the 10th pick, the San Francisco 49ers, fresh off trading Debo to New York.
Wow.
I was gonna say I could definitely see them trading for a receiver. Like, yeah,
take Sauce Gardner and finally get their lockdown corner, probably the missing piece to their defense.
Wow.
Either way, Sauce was going at this pick. It just depended on the trade.
Wow.
So, you know what? We'll throw it in. Debo to the Jets for a first and whatever else. And Sauce goes to the Niners at 10.
Huge.
All right. So here is where my mock becomes interesting, to say the least. Okay. For the first time ever, the Washington Commanders will be making a draft pick. This might be a reach, but I really like this linebacker, and they're going to take Devin Lloyd out of Utah at 11.
After taking a guy in the first round last year?
I've seen so many mocks with them taking either Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean, and I'm like kind of confused because they took Jamin Davis last year in a similar
Which was
spot
a
too.
shock
Did
of
they
a
both pick
pick.
at like 14 last year? 15?
They picked at 17, I think. And
Okay.
nobody had Jamin Davis go in there.
Yeah, no. So
I didn't even know who he was when he got picked.
wouldn't even put it past them. So
All right. You could maybe call it controversial because I don't think it's their number one need, but the Washington Commanders are on the clock. At 11, they take Drake London, wide receiver, USC, and it comes with a little bit of controversy here. I think Terry McLaurin has gone from the most underrated receiver in the NFL to now one of the most overrated receivers in the NFL, I think. and you can make the argument with me that he hasn't had a quarterback, but I think it was kind of like the Jokic situation for me, where he was so underrated. Now he's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jokic is fucking disgusting now, but I think Terry McLaurin is just a bit overhyped now. I don't see it.
I disagree heavily.
Oh, well.
I think Terry McLaurin is one of the most sure-handed and best route runners in the NFL. And I value that so much in receivers.
Well, it's a good thing we're doing a mock draft, so we don't need to argue about this stuff.
Yeah, Dawson, I disagree with the McLaurin take, but I agree with the Drake London pick.
Wow.
I like that. I like that fit for the Commanders and London teaming up. You know, that McLaurin, he's got the speed, he's got the route running with a bigger body, jump ball kind of guy. To me, it makes sense. So I like the pick. Drake London, second receiver off my board.
I have Washington going defense here. I don't know what direction they're gonna go. They have quite a few needs too, but they did lose Landon Collins, and this guy was a lock for a top 5 pick. You know, a week or 2 weeks ago even. So at 11, Washington's taken Kyle Hamilton for me. Bit of a slow 40, but I think he's still a playmaker. He's still gonna make an impact. So I think if he's there at 11, Washington can't miss with him.
I forgot it was my turn.
It's your turn, baby.
I'm not gonna lie. I have Washington finally taking a guy that could play opposite Terry McLaurin and a guy who could stretch the field, even though he will not play until probably late. Mr. Franchise quarterback Carson Wentz gets another weapon in Jameson Williams.
You know what? I like it. Are we waiting for LBS here?
No, go.
Sorry, I had to pick.
Back.
All right. So the Seahawks are at 12 for me, fresh off trading 9. And here we go, baby. The first big shocker of my mock draft. The Seattle Seahawks take Matt Corral out of Ole Miss, quarterback.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Is Kenny Pickett still on the board
Yeah.
I think it's definitely on the board.
for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like you haven't had him drafted yet?
No, only Malik Willis.
Interesting.
Note that I said I have 4 quarterbacks. They're all still on the board. At 12, the Minnesota Vikings take one of my favorite players in the draft, Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame. I like the fit in mini.
Pair him with another Notre Damer.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just following Dawson here. Kyle Hamilton's going to the Vikings as well. It just seems like another great fit there. They love picking guys in the secondary in the first round, and he's a versatile weapon. So, see what happens.
The slide is finally over for me here at 12. I think it's likely if he's still there. At 12, the Vikings are going to take Trayvon Walker. I think they see him slide after all the buzz. I think he's probably they probably don't expect to see him at 12. So if he's there, I think they're going to take him.
All right, here I got them taking a guy who, based on a lot of mock drafts, is a reach, but in no means is a reach, is a top 5 talent in this draft. They went Christian Darrisaw last year in the first round. They continue to rebuild their O-line and protect Kirk Cousins' fragile bones as he gets older. And they take future All-Pro center or guard Tyler Linderbaum here with their pick.
Could definitely see it happening.
Dawson.
All right.
Muted.
All right.
Muted.
I had nothing important to say.
All right. So we move on to 13, where the Texans are picking again. Their first of 3 Cleveland Brown picks that they got in exchange for Deshaun Watson. And here I have them taking Kyle Hamilton. I think that Kyle Hamilton might be the weirdest player in this draft, simply because everyone was saying like he's the best defensive, like literally a month ago, he's the best defensive player in this draft, most versatile. And I could literally see this guy going anywhere from 3 to fucking 17, which is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
You know, like don't get me wrong. We all have Kyle Hamilton outside of our top 11 or top 10, and I would not be shocked if he went inside the top 10 at all. Which is really weird because literally I don't get it.
I think his knock is like he's good at doing a lot of things, but not like
Not
elite.
great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He also ran a 4.7 and then refused to run at his pro day. So I think like safeties these days aren't really running slow 40s so
That's
I
true.
don't know. I mean, at least guys that are gonna go top 5 in a draft, they're not running a 4.7 or slower. I think his game speed's a lot faster than a 4.7, but
Yeah. Well, after panicking at 3 and not taking the then sliding Aiden Hutchinson, and instead taking Sauce Gardner for me, at 13, I have the Houston Texans going with an edge after all, taking Jermaine Johnson at 13.
I like it. Did all of you guys have Houston taking a corner at the third pick?
yeah, well, I did.
No, I had them taking Iquanu.
Okay, yeah, same. Anyways, after seeing Stingley and Ahmad Gardner go, the Texans want a corner. They're gonna reach and grab Trent McDuffie out of Washington.
Wow. Yeah.
Rangy
Call me
corner.
crazy, but I don't think that's that big of a reach.
Bro, Trent
think
McDuffie's
I'm not-
disgusting.
I don't think it's a
no, but I know what you're saying. But McDuffie's low-key disgusting.
He's
He is
disgusting.
Yeah.
he's very disgusting.
Disgusting.
Like, I'd be happy if I was a Texan fan getting McDuffie at
100%.
this pick.
Exactly. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be around in the NFL for a long time, locking guys up. So
Yes, sir.
it's a safe pick for them. And I think that's what they need to do, just get some guys who can play right away and, hopefully retain them.
I have Houston doubling down on defense here. Like you, Dawson, I have him taking Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. So corner and edge in the first round for Houston.
So apparently me and Cam are just running the draft show for the Houston Texans because I also have Jermaine Johnson. So me and Cam will be in the war room for Houston Thursday.
If we nail both of those, it'd be pretty sick.
We're getting a call.
All right. Number 14, we have Baltimore picking.
This is like one of my favorite and most intriguing picks of the whole draft.
This one I struggled with so long.
So it's funny you should say that because
They're trading in it.
Baltimore's GM, they had like fucking 5 voices in his head in the draft room yelling different players. And then the phone rings and he picks it up. And it's the GM of the Green Bay Packers who offers up a wonderful package with the intentions of finally getting it right and drafting Drake London at 14.
I could see
Going
him
to
in
the
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay Packers.
I could definitely see him in Green Bay. I like it. Well, Mr. Trent McDuffie, you won't have to buy new cleats or gloves. You're staying in the purple. You're going to Baltimore. Trent McDuffie to the Ravens at 14.
I think the Baltimore GM had one voice in his head, and it said to draft Jordan Davis. We'll get some help, interior defensive lineman. They don't come often. I find. I mean, there's a few of them in this draft, especially that can go in the first round. But I think Jordan Davis is the best one, and shore up that defense. I think the offense is solid in Baltimore.
There's no secret that Baltimore's had issues in the interior offensive line, especially at the center position. So inconsistent with the snaps. For that reason, Baltimore's taking Tyler Linderbaum here, center from Iowa. I think he's the best lineman in the draft. Honestly, I think he'll have the longest career out of all the linemen. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but he was a crazy good wrestler in high school. Shown what he can do all throughout college. So I think, I think Baltimore does not go wrong here with that pick.
When I think of Baltimore, I think of how good their D-line has been for the past I can't even remember. Basically, since I started watching football. Calais Campbell's coming up on the back end of his career. They're going to start grooming some guy to take over for him. For that reason, I got them also taking Jordan Davis. And I'm starting to think, I don't know if there's a pick I've made that someone else also hasn't picked at with the same pick.
Shaner, I love the Jordan Davis pick even more after what you just said. So
I had Jordan Davis until
it happened.
I got home today, and I don't know. I had an epiphany, I guess.
Cam's
All
on the
right.
board.
Star
And-
We have a
pick.
star. We have a star.
Woo!
Eagles are at 15.
This is when Cam puts his phone down on the couch, starts praying, and starts freaking out at the same time.
I'm a little nervous.
And I have the Eagles taking a linebacker in Nakobe Dean out of Georgia.
Absolute dog.
Mhm.
All right. We reunite the Bama boys.
Ooh.
Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Alabama, heads over to the Eagles. They got two burners there. No big bodies, but they got two burners. Jameson Williams will be an Eagle.
Yeah, I got the Eagles one receiver here as well. But as you guys know, Williams and London are gone. Garrett Wilson falls to the Philadelphia Eagles, which I think would be a dream in Philly.
Absolutely.
And I don't think you can pass up on that. So Garrett Wilson goes to the Eagles.
With Garrett Wilson still on the board, also in my mock, the Eagles are going to reach on a receiver again. I don't think it's a reach. I love this guy. At 15 from Arkansas, the Eagles take Treylon Burks.
Ooh.
Like you said, Dawson, big
I like
body,
it.
guy can move, good hand. I think that's what the Eagles need. Personally, I would love it at 15 or 18. So, yeah, Treylon Burks is my pick for Philly.
Let me tell you something about Treylon Burks, man. This guy has the chance to be the best receiver in this draft, and I would not be surprised whatsoever if he was. And I think he's going to slide, and I think it's a damn shame.
You know who he kind of reminds me of, but just better? Fucking Brown in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Better than AJ Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just faster. I don't know. Like, just a more athletically gifted player.
Yeah.
But
He's just like he's an outlier, you know? Like for
Yeah.
that size, he should not be that athletic. AJ Brown was the same thing. Freak
Yeah.
athlete for his size. I think Treylon Burks is right there.
I think the Eagles kind of do what the Giants did here. They sit back. They realize that the teams in back of them are not receiver needy teams, so they stay away until their second pick. And they stop, I guess, a mini slide for what could be a star defensive player here of a position they've needed for basically my whole life. Kyle Hamilton is a Philadelphia Eagle.
I would be
I
thrilled.
like that too.
I would be thrilled, honestly. Absolutely thrilled.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Boys, I'm not going to lie. I've been changing my mocks here a bunch.
Star pick.
Star pick. We got the Saints. So the Saints traded up. They traded their pick next year to get the Indianapolis Colts pick from Carson Wentz and the Eagles. And no way in my life do I think that Jameson Williams is going to fall this far, but I had to do it for my mock. And Jameson Williams becomes a freaking New Orleans Saint. And finally, the Saints get it right, draft a receiver, and their freaking offense starts looking scary with Jameis.
All right. At
Woo!
16, the New Orleans Saints select quarterback Malik Willis out of Liberty. Still on my board. So he falls to the Saints at 16.
wow.
I'll take it.
Yeah, well, my mock here, a lot of receivers just went Williams, London, Wilson. I think the Saints' hand is forced here, and they go and grab Chris Olave out of Ohio
Fucking
State.
love it too.
I
Oh,
love that
give me
fit.
all these receivers.
I could really see them, like, assuming my mock plays out, some way like that. I like Olave in New Orleans.
Yeah, similar thinking here. Obviously, the Saints are looking at another receiver. So, with him still on the board, I think it's a steal at 16. The Saints are going to go ahead and grab Garrett Wilson.
That's my dream. If Garrett Wilson falls to the Saints, oh, man.
If you recall, I had the Saints trading up to draft Neal. So on the clock is Seattle. Seattle sits there. The post Russell Wilson era says, is Drew Lock really my guy?
Fuck
The
no.
answer is no. The best quarterback available at this point, Kenny Pickett, is the new leader in Seattle.
I like it.
Kenny Small Hands, Kenny Fake Slide. The man himself. I like it.
Let's go.
All
Let's hit a
right.
little recap, boys.
Little recap, picks 9 to 16. Let's run it through quick. I had the trade, Vikings trading up, picking Ahmad Gardner. Jets taking Derek Stingley. Commanders taking Devin Lloyd. Seahawks trading down and taking Matt Corral. Texans taking Kyle Hamilton. The Packers trading up with Baltimore to take Drake London. The Nakobe Dean to the Eagles at 15 with Jameson Williams going to the Saints at 16.
At 9, I had the reach of the draft so far. Seattle takes Trevor Penning at 9.
Wow.
They're tackle needy. They just reach on him. 10, the Jets go Derek Stingley. They get, in my opinion, a top 5 talent in this draft. 11, the Washington Commanders go Drake London. Vikings take Hamilton at 12. Texans get their edge, Jermaine Johnson at 13. My boy Trent McDuffie goes to the Ravens at 14. Eagles take another small body receiver, Jameson Williams at 15. And the Saints go Malik Willis at 16.
Yeah, so at number 9, Seattle gets that corner they need, Derek Stingley. 10, the Jets add Jameson Williams. 11, the Commanders draft Drake London. 12, the Vikings pick up Kyle Hamilton. 13, the Texans draft Trent McDuffie. 14, the Ravens go and grab Jordan Davis. Love that pick. 15, the Eagles get Garrett Wilson. And the Saints grab Chris Olave at 16.
Seattle gets Charles Cross at 9 for me. Best tackle available, so on the board. At 10, Jets are going to go ahead and grab Jameson Williams. At 11, Washington's got Kyle Hamilton. I think it's good value there at 11. Trayvon Walker slides all the way to 12. That was the big surprise in my draft. At 13, Houston doubles down on defense, takes Jermaine Johnson. 14, Baltimore gets Tyler Linderbaum. At 15, the Eagles reach a bit on Treylon Burks. And at 16, the Saints get Garrett Wilson.
I got 2 trades to start off this little portion here. The Saints trading up to draft Evan Neal with Seattle. San Francisco sends Debo to the Jets for a package and selects Sauce Gardner. Washington takes Jameson Williams. Minnesota proudly selects Tyler Linderbaum. Jermaine Johnson goes to Houston, like Cam said before. Jordan Davis goes to Baltimore. Kyle Hamilton takes his talents to Philly. And Cam's a happy man. And Kenny Pickett is the new face of the franchise in Seattle.
All right. Pick 17, we got the LA Chargers. And I was looking at it, okay? And I was like, on PFF, and they said their number 1 need is receiver. And I was like, why? Right? I started looking into it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even upset if they take a receiver. So, Cam, I'm with you with Treylon Burks, man. I think this guy is a star, and I think the Chargers are going to realize it and say, you know what? Let's just add some more fucking fuel to the fire of that offense, and they're going to take Treylon Burks out of Arkansas at 17. I'm telling you, if you haven't heard of Treylon Burks because he went to fucking Arkansas, he wasn't the biggest name in this
Because
draft.
he had Felipe Franks throwing him the fucking football.
Watch his tape. It is wild.
He had 180 yards against Alabama. That does not happen very often. Okay, and KJ Jefferson's great, and I love him, but that's a lot of Treylon Burks going to work against a great defense. So
At 17, the Los Angeles Chargers select Jordan Davis, interior defensive lineman, Georgia. I think that's a steal at 17.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have him sliding.
Yeah, I have the Chargers taking a very similar pick they're taking Davis's teammate Devonte Wyatt,
Whoa.
defensive lineman.
Look, there's no secret. Like I think I've used that line already. I hate cliches, but anyways, here we are. A lot of coffee tonight. No. I think the Chargers, their biggest issue last year undoubtedly was stopping the run. I do think there's a chance now that Baltimore does take Jordan Davis, but he's still on the board for me here. So Chargers are going to beef up that D-line real quick. Might not give you every snap in a game, but they're going to stop the run. So Jordan Davis at 17 here for the Chargers.
Raptors force a game 6, FYI. Sorry.
Massive.
Boys are alive.
The pressure is on in
Oh
Philly.
yeah.
Let me tell you that.
Reverse sweep.
I'm okay with it. I had the Sixers winning in 6, so.
Shit, yeah.
Shut the fuck.
Way to kill our vibe. Thanks, bro. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Back to the mock.
Yeah.
Sitting here, I think they look at what they did last year. They took Rashawn Slater.
Yeah.
The goal is to always protect your franchise quarterback. They got no right tackle sitting there right now. Trevor Penning is still on the board for me. He is the safest pick for them to protect Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert.
Okay, Herbo.
I think Penning's a project, but he's such a freak.
Yeah.
6'8". I mean,
Yeah, he's a
I
unit.
have him going top 10, baby.
He's an absolute. He's a man. He's a man.
It's weird to me because, like, 1 week I see clips of him absolutely dominating guys at like the.
And then he's getting blown by like
and
it's
then he's
nothing.
getting he's
yeah,
getting put
that's
on.
what I was gonna say. No matter what happens, he's gonna catch some bodies. Like whether he's good or not, he's gonna kill a few people.
But
Yeah.
that's why I think putting him on the right side is going to help him because he's not protecting his
Yeah.
blind side.
Right.
Star pick.
Here we go.
Again.
All right. We got 2 star picks in a row once again. Philadelphia, they traded away their first round this year to the Saints. Ended up getting their pick at 18. And I have the Eagles taking Trent McDuffie here.
I have Cam's gonna be pissed, but I have a reach. I have the Eagles
Something
Taking-
Howie does very well.
taking Trent McDuffie's teammate, Kyler Gordon.
I like that guy though.
Yeah.
I'm watching his tape a bit. I like him.
Yeah,
I
I
like
have
That is
the
definitely
Eagles
a reach.
big reach.
But I think
Yeah.
there's a good chance he goes in the first round somewhere. Like I honestly believe it.
Yeah,
He's also not giving up a touchdown in his college
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna like this pick, Cam, but the fit just the person I feel like matches the Eagles vibes, and that's Trevor Penning. Put him on the right side, whatever. Put him wherever the fuck you want. Trevor Penning in an Eagles jersey just mashing guys up just makes him more.
Honestly, like I don't mind the pick because I do think like he has a chance to be an NFL starter for a long time. But
Yeah,
I hope the Eagles don't go line in the first round. It's
Yeah.
just
that's fair.
for how many holes they have.
If Tyler Linderbaum's there, would you be upset if they took him?
Absolutely not. That's a situation like Lane Johnson is not retiring after next year. I don't think he's got at least a few years left in him. Jason Kelsey's definitely retiring after next year. So
And worst case with Penning, he sucks at tackle. Fucking, I know he's huge. Just put him in guard. He's gonna maul guys.
No, you're
I don't
right.
know. I think
Dude,
it's,
imagine being a running back and running behind a guy who's 6'8".
Two
Yeah,
guys that are
and
6'8" if
absolutely,
you're playing on the
yeah.
Eagles because Mylott is also 6'8".
Yeah, put him on left guard and you're just running through guys that are like towering over defensive
Hurts
end.
has a bit of a problem back there.
Yeah.
All right. Without further ado, the Eagles fan's gonna make his pick here. I have the Eagles taking the first backer off the board here, Nakobe Dean. I'm not sure if it'll be him or Devin Lloyd. I don't know who they're higher on right now. The Eagles do a really good job of keeping it a secret, hence why they took Jalen Reagor ahead of Justin Jefferson. Nobody in the world saw that coming. But yeah, I think they're
The
going
video
backer.
of the Vikings laughing after they took Jalen Reagor will forever be one of my favorite draft day videos.
I'm sure that haunts Cam.
Yeah, it does frequently, especially around this time of year.
Because it gets played like 3 weeks prior.
Cool.
Cam, I think you're gonna be very happy. Very happy here. Sitting there after they took Kyle Hamilton, they say, all right, it's time to take a receiver. We took Devonte last year. We got to take a guy who can play opposite him and actually catch the ball. So, Drake London is now your big body receiver in Philadelphia.
My only issue with that pick is the Eagles took a USC receiver like 5 years ago, maybe. I think it was 2015, 16. And he was shit. Well, the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Philly has a thing with drafting.
What was it again? What was his
receivers.
name?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Has a thing with drafting receivers that can't catch the ball.
He's my number one receiver right now. So
Yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
Nah, Devonte Parker.
yeah, that's true.
Just think. I think Drake London is like a better Michael Pittman. Same school, similar build.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't actually hate
Like,
the pick. I'm just
you're putting-
terrified of USC receivers.
You're putting him in a situation where he doesn't have to be the number one receiver.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would
Devontae's
not
your guy.
complain. I would
Devontae's
not
your number one. And even sitting there, Goddard's your second option.
Yeah.
So you're not putting him. You're getting him in a position that he could be a mismatch.
Especially in the
every
red zone,
time.
which is what the Eagles need. So no complaints for sure.
All right,
His new
Shane.
pick? Oh,
Oh, wait.
Shane. Yeah,
I just went.
yeah. He's
That's
he's
what we
pick.
were talking about. Drake
All
London.
right.
Yeah.
We have another star pick. For the longest time, I've been saying, I mean, even before the trade happened, please go receiver or please go tackle, especially now that Armstead's gone. So the Saints, in my mock, took Jameson Williams. Grace from God said, here's Jameson Williams. Now go take a tackle and be smart. Don't take a quarterback. Take a tackle. And I'm not taking Trevor Penning. I'm actually taking a guy out of Central Michigan in Bernard Raymond. I like this tape. I was looking at it and I liked it. So we're gonna take that, put him to the opposite of Ryan Ramczyk, and hopefully we can get another absolute monster to replace Teron Armstead.
He is one big motherfucker.
At 19, in my mock, as we know, Saints went ahead and got Malik Willis at 16. So they still need a receiver. And Chris Olave is still on the board. So the Vikings are going Chris Olave here.
The Vikings.
The Vikings. The Saints. Jesus Christ. I need to go to bed.
I also have the Saints addressing O-line here, but I got them taking Kenyon Green. I know he's an interior offensive lineman, but he's versatile. He's decently sized. He's quick. He's another guy who has played tackle at A&M. So I think, he comes in as a day one starter at guard, and if you need him at tackle, he can slide out there. Obviously, he might not be the best guy. You don't want to play him against, some of the elite edge rushers, but I think it's a safe pick, a guy who just comes in, plug and play, So Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I also have the Saints going O-line here. With Penning still on the board, I think they do take him here. I know the Saints have a weird way of drafting, so there's no real way to predict this, but yeah, I like the fit. Big dude. Looks like he's going to have longevity, so Trevor Penning here for the Saints.
Well, the Saints do need a receiver, and there is still one of the great receivers on the board right now. And as Dawson said before, Chris Olave is a Saint. They go back to the well that was very nice to them with Michael Thomas at Ohio State, and they take Chris Olave.
There's something the Saints love to do. It's take Ohio State players. Let me tell you. Oh, my goodness. I'm fired up. All right. And here we go to 20, which I think is one of the most intriguing picks. I think the Steelers go quarterback here. All right. I said I have 4 quarterbacks. This will be my third. And believe it or not, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati at 20.
So Kenny Pickett's not off the board yet.
No, sir. He is not.
Well, before I announce my pick, rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Haven't spoken about that. Obviously, we haven't had a show, but fucking terrible. Horrible. But I do also have the Steelers going ahead and taking a quarterback here. He was kind of linked to them at the beginning of the postseason, but I have them taking Kenny Pickett.
From Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Crazy journey.
All right, I got the Steelers not taking a quarterback. Obviously, I think they're pissed here. They wanted another interior. They wanted a Kenyon Green, so they're going to go and take the next best thing in Zion Johnson out of Boston College. You know, you're bringing in a guy, Mitch Trubisky, who has not proved himself. Least you can do is get him a fresh face, get him a guy who can maybe protect him a little better than whoever they have right now. I don't think their O-line is elite at the moment. So I like to fit Zion Johnson, Boston College.
I think Pittsburgh realizes what type of team they are now, and that's a ground game team, and that's a defensive stardom team. They finally take a corner, which they have whiffed on so many times in free agency, and they go Trent McDuffie.
I'll make my Steelers pick is the same as Matt's, actually. They're going to take this.
My bad, Cam.
No worries. They're going to take the most pro-ready quarterback, according to some sources at least, and Desmond Ridder. I'm not even sure if they're going to take quarterback, honestly. I think it just makes
They did say they were evaluating, though. They said they did like their homework on all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I just been seeing a bunch of things like Mike Tomlin went to dinner with this guy, went to dinner with this guy. Like, I mean, all that shit could be BS, but hey, Liam.
Star pick.
Star pick.
When's
Number
your
21. We have the New England Patriots selecting. Hey, Liam, who's the receiver that you gave me?
Chris Olave.
Because I have Chris Olave going to the New England Patriots.
I like it.
I freaking love it. Hey, you know what? You give him to me, I'll give him to you.
Respect.
All right. I have at 21 the New England Patriots taking center/guard Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa.
Wow, that I like. That's sick. They could use that. I actually have them taking a linebacker. I don't know that he's actually going to be here. I think he's probably going to get drafted earlier, but Devin Lloyd out of Utah. I love that pick. I would love that. That's my dream pick. I did it on purpose, obviously, that he would slide to 21. But I think it's also possible that, the Eagles or someone else pass on him. So we'll see. Devin Lloyd, though.
Guy that LBS likes, actually. I'm kind of happy I made this pick for them. We know how much Bill loves young, cheap, good corners. So at 21 here, the Pats are going to take Trent McDuffie out of Washington.
I like that.
That's a steal
That's
for them.
sick. That's a good
Replace JC right there.
Yeah.
Not sure if he'll slide, but if he's there, I think they can't go wrong.
I like it.
LBS,
Late that I like, so.
you blessed me. I'm going to bless you. Devin Lloyd is a New England Patriot
Let's go, Shaner.
on draft day.
Go. Let's fucking go. Love it.
All right. So now we move to 22, where Green Bay, they traded away Devonte Adams to Las Vegas and took their pick for the next 2 years, right? It was 2 first rounds. But I actually have the Ravens here because Green Bay traded up. What I forgot to mention was that Green Bay was keeping their original pick at 28. They found a way to make it happen, let's say. But they traded away their first round pick in this year's draft from Vegas. So now I have the Ravens taking Jermaine Johnson.
I like it. At 22, the Packers did not have to trade up in my books to do this. At 22, they go ahead, they get their guy, Traylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas at 22.
Dude, if the Saints took Traylon Burks, I would freak out too. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm on the same page as Dawson here. They waited. They didn't have to trade. They could wait 10 picks later and still get their guy, Traylon Burks, out of Arkansas.
Wow, that would be a crazy fit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Packers did lose Darius Smith, so I have them replacing him here with George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. I like it. He was rumored at the beginning of mock drafts at 7 to the Giants, or even at 5 in some. So, I like the value here at 22 for the Packers.
Very well could happen too. This fucking draft, wow.
Super Greek name too. Super.
Yeah,
Greek.
very.
He's actually born in Greece, apparently.
Yeah, super Greek name.
I did not know that.
It's draft night. The Packers are not very good at doing this.
Nope.
But there is going to be a video right before we get on stage, and it's just going to be Aaron Rodgers crying tears of joy as they announce Treylon Burks being a Green Bay Packer.
I love
if
it.
Trayvon Burks goes to the Packers, he is winning Rookie of the Year. Okay.
I
like
that's
it.
not crazy at all.
All right.
3 of us had him going there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Sick.
All right. Number 23. We got the Arizona Cardinals. And I have them taking, perhaps, as Shaner said, a future All-Pro in Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. Center.
I threw around a few names here at 23. I originally had Zion Johnson penciled in there, but Arizona goes ahead and selects a Florida boy. Kaiir Elam, cornerback out of
Put
Florida.
him back with Marco.
Yes, sir.
Put him back with Marco.
Well, Dawson and I had the same idea again. Kaiir Elam going
Let's
to the Cards.
Let's go.
I like Kaiir Elam, especially, he was facing SEC
nasty.
all year, So,
Disgusting.
he
The
held
last
his
3
own.
years, he's been
Disgusting.
Outstanding. So this is great value in my opinion for Arizona.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're thinking along the same lines here. I think that front office is tired of listening to Kyler Murray whine all the time now. So I think they've done enough to
What more
help
can
him
you get him?
succeed. So they're gonna take Andrew Booth out of Clemson.
Yep.
I like that pick.
I think he's one of the most pro-ready corners. He's physical and he's just technically sound. So, yeah, I like the fit. They're just gonna keep stacking that defense. Marco Wilson turned out to be a great pick for them. He played pretty well last year, so I think they'll try.
I mean, he
that.
was a dog at Florida. He just destroyed his draft stock by deciding to chuck a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with they're not tired of hearing about Kyler cry. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna protect him some more. They're gonna go ahead and they're gonna take Kenyon Green. They're gonna get more beef on the O-line. Supply Kyler Murray with a chance to not get hit while he throws it to the 45 receivers that they pay for him to throw it to. And he will one day be happy.
All right. Let's move to 24, where the Dallas Cowboys
Who cares about this?
Yeah. Boo, hardcore.
are selecting. Obviously, the Cowboys are the biggest franchise in the NFL, most popular, America's team. They want a flashy guy. I say flashy, but my first interior defensive lineman is coming off the board here. And Jordan Davis, an absolute freak. I think we can all agree. I think he would be a great personality to add into Dallas's team. I have them slide into there, so they're gonna take him.
Imagine Jordan Davis picking up like double teams and then Micah Parsons could just run loose. I think I would cry.
Well, I'm going to add to the Dallas Cowboys D-line as well. But I'm going to give him David Ojabo out of Michigan.
Ooh. They have a history of doing that,
I know.
of taking guys that got hurt and slide hard.
I know.
But Jalen
That's
Smith
why.
did go in the second round. I think Ojabo was gonna slide, but you never know. He's like,
Bro, if he's
value
sitting there
here
with the
is
Giants
crazy.
pick in the second round and he's not a Giant, I'm going to be so mad.
I think he might. There's a chance he goes in the first round. Though.
I don't know. It just seemed like a Cowboys pick to me. Just literally taking a flyer on a guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got the Cowboys also addressing the D-line, but America's team is going to be drafting the Greek boy in George Karlaftis out of Purdue.
I've seen so many rumors today that apparently he's like out of the first round on everybody's board.
Really?
I don't even know how. Like this guy literally was,
A
like
freak
Cam
too.
said,
Yeah.
projected to go like 5th overall, and now
Combines
put
and
on my board.
days and a lot of shit happens between the
Also
first.
small. It's not like he goes to the biggest school in the world, Like Purdue's not.
Yeah, no, you're
They're
right.
not exactly pumping out pass rushers.
No, but yeah, Dallas. I could not care less what Dallas does here, but I have them going Kenyon Green, guard / every other position on the offensive line out of A&M. Yeah, their O-line's taken a beating the last couple of years, so I think they need to beef it up a little bit. Kenyon Green.
Yeah, I went down the same route. They blew up the O-line. They're gonna have to rebuild it. They love drafting guys in the first round for their O-line. They go Zion Johnson.
I like it.
All
Recap
right.
time.
I was about to do the same thing. Okay. 17, the Chargers take Treylon Burks. 18, Eagles take Trent McDuffie. 19, Saints take Bernard Raymond. 20, the Steelers take Desmond Ridder. 21, the Pats take Chris Olave. 22, the Ravens take Jermaine Johnson. 23, the Cardinals take Tyler Linderbaum. And 24, the Cowboys take Jordan Davis.
All right. I got the Chargers taking Jordan Davis at 17. Eagles reach and grab Kyler Gordon at 18. Saints take Chris Olave at 19. Steelers take Kenny Pickett at 20. Patriots take Linderbaum at 21. Packers take Treylon Burks at 22. The Cardinals take Kyer Elam at 23. And the Cowboys go ahead and grab David Ojabo at 24.
Yes, sir. Okay. The Chargers are taking Jordan Davis's teammate Devonte Wyatt at 17. The Eagles are drafting Trevor Penning at 18. The Saints, Kenyon Green at 19. The Steelers are going Zion Johnson at 20. The Patriots get my boy, Devin Lloyd. Would love to see that. 22, Treylon Burks goes to Green Bay as well. 23, Kyer Elam goes to the Cardinals. And George Karlaftis goes to the Cowboys at 24.
At 17, I have the Chargers taking Jordan Davis out of Georgia. At 18, the Eagles are going to take Nakobe Dean, also out of Georgia. At 19, the Saints get a tackle in Trevor Penning. At 20, the Steelers get Des Ridder. Not sure about that one. Not confident in it at all. At 21, the Pats get a steal in Trent McDuffie. At 22, the Packers are going to get George Karlaftis. 23, Arizona goes Andrew Booth. And at 24, the Cowboys take Kenyon Green.
The Chargers come into this draft saying that Justin Herbert needs more protection. Trevor Penning's their pick. Drake London goes to Philly. Chris Olave is a Saint. Trent McDuffie becomes the newest addition of Pittsburgh. LBS, the very happy man, Devin Lloyd. Treylon Burks takes over Devonte Adams' role. Kenyon Green goes to Arizona to make sure Kyler Murray cries a little bit less. And Zion Johnson helps the Dallas Cowboys offensive line rebuild.
All right, let's move on to pick 25, where the current favorites to win the AFC, the Bills, are choosing. And I have a shocker here. I have them taking Jake Camarda, kicker out of Georgia.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. But speaking of Georgia, the last pick was Jordan Davis. So I have them taking his partner in crime and Devonte Wyatt. Guy's a freak as well. And I'm excited to see what he would do in Buffalo.
I'm so stuck on what I want to do here. I'm just going to stick to the mock. Yeah. I have at 25 the Bills going and taking Andrew Booth, corner out of Clemson. I was thinking about maybe throwing Brees in there and have them taking him, but I'll stick with Andrew Booth.
Yeah, I have them also going interior defensive line, but it might be a bit of a reach. Well, actually, a lot of interior defensive linemen have been taken in my draft, but they're gonna go get the UConn man Travis Jones, big
like
run
that.
stopper.
Whoa. The Packers and Raiders have engaged in trade talks
I saw this
with an eye toward it
Waller.
being done for Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro, I just saw that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But it wasn't even like a report. It was like this guy, like, oh, like this. Is what
Apparently, that's who they wanted in exchange for Devonte Adams.
And they're trying to get it done this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that would be
Back to our
absolutely.
regular schedule.
Yeah. So yeah, Travis Jones out of UConn is going to the Buffalo Bills.
He's nasty.
At 25, running back alert. The Buffalo Bills are going to take Breece Hall. My number one back in this draft by far, but honestly by a mile. Not sure if he'll be a first rounder, but I do think he'll be the first back off the board. Breece Hall is a freak. He can do everything. I think he'll be a contributor. I thought they were going to take Najee last year. Obviously, the Steelers got him before they had the chance. So yeah, with all the running backs available on the board here, I think Buffalo goes Breece Hall.
Think Buffalo finally realizes that Devin Singletary is not the guy, and they go ahead and they take Breece Hall.
I want to see it happen so badly.
It's been too long for you to keep giving Singletary the starter. Like, if you want to keep Singletary as your number 2, go ahead. Like, he's a great number 2. But, like, how many times are you going to make Josh Allen lead your team in rushing in a game for you to be like, oh, maybe we should help him out?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to 26 for the defending AFC regular season champs.
They fucking suck.
I have them taking George Karlaftis out of Purdue.
I have a shocker here at 26.
Wow.
I have the
Quarterback.
Tennessee Titans going off the board and taking Desmond Ridder,
Yeah.
quarterback from Cincinnati at 26.
Whoa.
Oh, I've seen him mocked here a few times. I kind of like the fit. I do.
Shocker alert.
Okay, well, in my mock here, their hand is forced. Nakobe Dean is still on the board, and I think it's a position of need. So Tennessee Titans draft Nakobe Dean out of Georgia.
That's a fucking Hail Mary slam dunk for them if they can get him at 26. Wow.
For sure.
Bit of a weird pick here for me. I didn't really know what to do. This was the only blank spot I had for like the longest time. But in the end, with tackles being a hot commodity in the first round, Tennessee's going to go ahead and get theirs. And Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan. They need a little bit of help for sure. So I think he's their guy.
All me crazy, but I too have Desmond Ridder
Yes,
flying
sir.
off the board.
I will not call you boys crazy.
I think they sat there after the playoff game, albeit Cincinnati did go to the Super Bowl, but I think they sat there and said, is Ryan Tannehill really the guy that can lead us? The answer is no.
Nope.
Desmond Ridder flies off the board. As
Ryan
the-
Tannehill is also 35 years old.
Is he
as
really?
the- is he actually?
Yeah. I think he turns 35 during the season.
What?
That's wild.
Yeah.
The big shocker of the first round is Desmond Ridder in Nashville.
I'm so happy, Shane.
All right. 27. We have the champions from 2 years ago, the Buccaneers, fresh off a unretirement from their starting quarterback. And I have
turns
them
34.
adding. What's up?
By the way, he turns 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. I did not think he was that old.
Yeah, no, me
He
either.
was like 31.
I think because he has 2023 still as part of his contract, but they can shed it pretty easily. But regardless, by the end of his contract, he'll be 35.
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right. So going back 27, the Bucks. I have them adding fire to that already disgusting pass rush, and I have them taking Travis Jones out of UConn.
Oh shit! It's my turn. Hello. Where are we? The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers. Why can't I see who I have for them? Oh yes. At 27, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Zion Johnson, interior offensive lineman, Boston College.
Alex Kappa replacement.
Yeah. I
And
also
Ali
have,
Marpat, fuck.
yeah, I also have a interior O-line replacement. This probably won't happen, but Tyler Linderbaum finally comes off the board, and him going to the Bucks just seems like it's meant to be. I don't know. He seems like the type of player that would be on the Bucks team, and just excel, be the starting guard in a Super Bowl game.
I have a bit of a weird pick here, but if this happens, I think it would be one of my favorite picks in the draft. I like the lineman fits on both sides of the ball for Tampa, but they did lose Jordan Whitehead. I have them bringing in a guy who can do all of that for them. And Dax Hill from Michigan. Really like him.
Oh, I love that pick. That's a great pick.
Yeah, I think he could slide out of the first round if Tampa doesn't take him, but he comes in and does everything for you, really. He's kind of flown under the radar. I loved him at Michigan. So, yeah, I think he comes in and makes an impact right away.
It's a great pick. I got them worrying about the D-line, and Ndamukong Suh does not appear to be coming back. They're going to go ahead and replace him with a guy next to Vita Vea. Devonte Wyatt goes to Tampa.
All right. 28, we have the Packers getting their original pick there. I have them trading up, actually, and taking Drake London from Baltimore with their first pick. 28 here, I can see them going a couple different ways, but ultimately I had them taking a tackle. I saw them taking Trevor Penning. I don't know what their situation is at right guard. I don't know if there's anyone there. Listen, if there is already a bona fide starter there, then I would say, you know what? Bakhtiari's been hardened for the past couple of years. Give him some just let him, I guess, be a project under Bakhtiari. Give him like a solid rep count if Bakhtiari starts fading. But I like Trevor Penning there. I mean, like we said before, he might need some work, and who better to learn from than a guy who was the best tackle in the league for a while,
Absolutely. At number 28, the second of the big Georgia boys come off the board for me. Packers take Devonte Wyatt at 28.
This was a tough one for me to choose. I wanted to go on the defensive side of the ball. I just didn't know where. But Andrew Booth is still on my board, and I just love that. I know they're pretty. They have some solid depth at corner, but under Jair and Eric Stokes went off last year. No.
Yeah, he did. Big time.
So I could see him getting reps there, and that's just a legit secondary. So I love that pick for the Packers at 28.
In my mock, the Packers played their cards right, stayed patient, went defense at 22, but at 28, still on the board is Chris Olave. So they're
Wow.
right there.
That would be a freaking slam dunk for them.
Another very likely pick for them if Olave's gone and no other receivers there. George Pickens, he might come off the board for them.
I have a trade to announce.
Late round trade.
And a team that has an early second round pick and basically needs everything on their roster.
Not me.
The New York Giants trade back in to the first round
for the
third pick and end the slide for Georgia linebacker Nakobe Dean.
Sure.
Like it.
All right. At 29 and 30, we have the Chiefs. The Chiefs trading away. This is the San Francisco pick that they got from Miami for Tyreek Hill. Like I just said, they just lost their number one receiver. They're going to be looking to add a solid receiver. I was in between Pickens and this guy, so I decided to go with Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. Another receiver was was really high ranked at the start of the year in terms of scouting, and kind of started going down, but I still think he's really good. I think it's not that you can't miss with him or Pickens. I think they're both going to be good, but like I said, I guess it's a coin flip, but I just decided to go with Jahan Dotson just for the sake of a guy we haven't heard from yet in this draft.
Let me be clear. Sean Clifford sucks. That's the only reason why
I knew that was coming.
performance took a hit. I think he's a baller. I think he's a late round steal here for them for sure.
For me, at 29, I have the Chiefs also going receiver. They take Sky Moore out of Western Michigan.
Ooh.
I like it. I have them going. I'll just say I'll put the receiver first here. I also have them going Jahan Dotson. I like the fit there. You know, it's another guy who can just burn you with his wheels. So, you know, if he can take on a Tyreek Hill-esque role, I would expect a big rookie season out of him.
Great route runner. Absolutely great route runner. I guess the order doesn't really matter. So I had this guy going at 30, but for the sake of this, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's just it was between him and Pickens for me too, but I just like the Dotson fit too much. So
Surprisingly, do not have them going receiver at 29. I have them sitting there and realizing that their corners have been shit since they traded Marcus Peters. And they take my boy, the Florida man, Kaiir Elam at 29.
Like it.
I like that.
All right, so here I am, the Chiefs general manager. I tried to take these 2 picks and trade up for a better receiver, but no one was biting. So I said, you know what? Like Shane said, the corner situation is pretty atrocious in Kansas City. So I have them taking Andrew Booth Jr. I think that would be a pretty much a steal for them at 30. A guy who would start right away, and I think he'd do well in Kansas City.
Yeah, I have them after taking a receiver at 29. I have them going Dax Hill here at 30.
Yeah, I had Dax Hill going at 29, but I flip-flopped. But yeah, Dax Hill. They need help all over their secondary. It's kind of a
I'm
mess
surprised
there.
Dax Hill's in the first round for at least 3 of us.
I took
Yeah.
him. I had him, but I got rid of him.
I'm surprised. I honestly thought I would be the only one. I had Jahan Dotson going here originally, but let's for the sake of it. Chiefs need help on D. Maybe not at this position, but I think if he's still there, edge depth is never a bad thing. I have them taking Boye Mafa out of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I almost had the Packers taking him at 28. But
We have another trade.
Jesus Christ.
This time, I believe that KC sits here and says they want a real speed demon. And they call up Carolina.
Yeah, Robbie.
And they say, we want Robbie and we want picks. And we know you have a need. Carolina makes that trade and selects Matt Corral at the end of the first round.
Wow.
They do not have a second round pick because it's gone to the Jets for Sam Darnold. So they're going to use Robbie and other late round picks to get this first round pick and take their quarterback.
All right. We're here at 31. The defending AFC champs, the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think our biggest thing for them was O-line, but they seemed to take care of that during the offseason. Our favorite guy to mock was Eli Apple. You know, their corner position's kind of hurting a bit. So I have them taking a corner here, but a guy that hasn't been mentioned yet, a guy out of Baylor, Jalen Peter.
He's a safety.
Is he?
He's both though.
I
Like,
think he was
He's going to
listed
play
as a
safety.
corner.
I don't
but
think he's a corner.
I think he'll play safety too. I don't think he has the speed, but
anyways, I was looking at his tape and I thought it was. I had never heard of this guy.
He's
And it was
disgusting.
wild. He's disgusting.
actually he ran. I think he ran like the high 4.3s, so he definitely has the speed.
Yeah.
He's physical as hell though.
I think he's an NFL safety, though.
Yeah.
At 31, I have the slide ending two picks after Shane. I have the Cincinnati Bengals going and grabbing Nakobe Dean
Wow.
I think that's a slam dunk at 31.
Yeah.
Bro, him and Logan Wilson would be scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have another Georgia boy coming off the board here. A guy who's gonna come in and help the Bengals secondary in Lewis Seen or Sign, whatever the fuck his last name is. I like that because I think he has some versatility, can play in the box as well, and obviously the Bengals have some solid safeties, so just a great situation to be in if you're Lewis Seen.
I actually do have Cincy going O-line here. Obviously Cap is going to help big time. Ted Karras, I know you like him, LBS. I'm not sure if he's going to start at guard for you long term.
I think they have him listed as center right now.
I have Cincy going Zion Johnson here out of BC. I think he does go higher, but if he's here at 31 and the draft plays out like this, I think it's a no-brainer for Cincy.
To me, the biggest need on this team, and really the only need they have right now after addressing the O-line, is corners. Andrew Booth is sitting there, and I think Cincinnati's running to the podium to get that pick in.
Yeah.
And here we are, pick 32. The Los Angeles Rams pick that they haven't picked the first round since they picked Jared Goff, and they just traded it for Jared Goff. So Lions at 32, and I have them thinking, we didn't take a quarterback at 2, but this guy is still here, so why not? Kenny Pickett goes to the Detroit Lions at 32.
Yo, if Kenny Pickett slides in this draft, I might cry.
I also have the Detroit Lions going quarterback here. But they go Sam Howell out of North Carolina. He doesn't have to change his cleats either. That baby
I could
blue
see
thing-
that happening so bad.
That baby blue, baby. Sam Howell is the future quarterback. I don't know when. Maybe a year or two, but he's the future quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so I got the Lions thinking, let's just ride it out with Goff one more year. If we're shit, we'll draft, one of these great quarterbacks in next year's class. So why not go grab a baller in Jalen Petrie out of Baylor? Why not get a guy who can, come in your secondary again and just either make an impact right away or learn under some of the guys that are there. I like the fit for Petrie and the Lions.
Detroit has been through the fucking ringer. That's an understatement. So I'm gonna give them some good karma here. The steal of the first round in Cam's mock draft is Detroit getting Devin Lloyd at pick 32 here.
Wow,
That's crazy. I forgot he was still on your board.
I think he's gonna go earlier, but
That is wild.
in a perfect world for Detroit, they get Malik Willis and Devin Lloyd in the first round. 30 picks apart.
Oh, we have another trade.
Oh.
Hey, Shane, can you just modify it so that the Colts get a pick, please?
No. I think Detroit's going to sit there and say, listen, there's a lot of receivers on the board, and if we want to go a receiver, whatever. But I think that picking 2 picks out of 3, because they start the second round with the second pick in the second round.
Yeah.
I think Chicago is going to call them up. They're going to start freaking out if these receivers are flying off the board. They got to get Justin Fields something. Christian Watson.
Love it.
Out of North Dakota State, a big body for Justin Fields to throw it up to. Well, he's got Darnell Mooney who could spread the defense. They pair those two together, and Justin Fields is happy.
And just like that, we're fucking done.
Wow.
Look at that, eh?
I'm so tired.
Let's just go over our prop picks
Oh,
here.
fuck. Yeah.
Okay, so I have 3. 2 for plus money, 1 for I think is a lock. So my first one, Garrett Wilson under 9.5 is at plus 100 right now, so you double your money. I think that's a lock, honestly. I have him going at 4. I mean, that might be a reach, but I think he doesn't get past 8 or 9 for sure. Then Malik Willis under 10.5. at plus 100 as well. I think that's a lock. So if you want to double your money, put it on that. And then if you want to just get something that's a lock, but it's not great value, I think under 0.5 running backs in round 1, I think is at minus 200, I think is a lock. It's not great value, like I said, but
I don't think it's a lock. I don't think it's a lock.
I think it's a lock. So there it is. Those are my 3 picks.
I have 3 as well. I have first quarterback selected in the draft, Malik Willis at minus 150. I think that's good value. I'm high on this guy. I've been high on this guy forever. Kayvon Thibodeau under 5.5 at minus 115. I like that as well. And then
minus.
Was that?
I thought that would be plus money for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a pick 'em.
I took him over 4.5 for plus 130.
All right. Well, maybe one of us he gets picked at 5 and we both win.
And I win.
Yeah. And then first wide receiver selected in the draft, Garrett Wilson at plus 110. I think that's free money for me, so I'm locking that in.
Yeah, I have 3 as well that I think all have great value. The first being Andrew Booth Jr. under 28.5 at plus 130. I had him going at 28 in my mock. I could see him going a lot earlier. Charles Cross under 7.5. I personally believe he's the Giants guy. That's what I've been seeing at minus 105. So I think he's going to get picked at 5 or 7. And QB's drafted in round 1 under 2.5 at plus 210. There's just too much value there for me not to take it. I already put it in. So I love that one. I think there's a strong possibility that hits.
I found some throughout the filming of this episode. So the first one, crazy value to me. Maybe I'm way off here, but Nakobe Dean as first linebacker taken plus 350. To me, it's been the linebacker position's been weird. Like there's no, I don't know, maybe you guys have seen different, but I haven't seen anyone say Devin Lloyd's by far the number 1 guy there, or the opposite. So I have Nakobe Dean going first in mine. I think it's a real possibility. So at plus 350, I mean, you got to take a little chance on it. Like Malik Willis, I have him top 10 at plus 100. Great value. I think there's easily 3 teams that will take a chance on him in top 10. And not by far from a lock, but I think it's good value. Over 0.5 running backs taken in the first round, plus 150. I like that better than under half for minus 200. So give me that one.
I had the Charles Cross one that LBS brought up. And I had one that Dawson brought up. What did you bring up?
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I had Garrett Wilson. But now I found 2 more. Little bit risky, I guess, because they're both plus money. First one, number of safeties drafted in the first round, under 1.5. That's at plus 200 right now. And the other one was first cornerback drafted, Derek Stingley at plus 275. Right
Wow.
now, Sauce is minus 450, like heavy favorite. Yeah. I think Stingley will be the first corner off the board.
That's amazing value.
I might have
If
to
I don't
sprinkle
think so,
some
I
money
would
on
put it on that.
Plus 275 I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I like that.
Who
as
would be
well.
the other safety?
Petrie.
Petrie is considered.
Petrie is
I don't
officially
think he's
listed
listed as a
before.
safety, though.
It doesn't
I know
matter
that-
if he's
that is-
safety. He's safety / corner at worst, if not just safety. So he'll go
I'll
down.
I'll show you who they
I have
have.
four,
as,
I have 4 safeties in my mock. I have
Yeah.
Petrie,
Lewis Seen also.
Dax Hill,
Okay.
and then
Kyle
obviously
Hamilton, and Dax Hill, like 2 probable first. I think Kyle Hamilton for sure is the one.
Kyle Hamilton's the one for sure. And then it's
And the
just
3 other guys, it's like maybe.
I've seen in so many years, like safety is such an overlooked position in the first round.
Yeah, it is for
Like
sure.
Xavier McKinney was a lock to go in the first round, and he was the first safety taken off the board by the Giants in the second round. So like safety to
But
me is just an
early-
overlooked. What?
like early in the second round. I could see
Yeah.
like the last 4 picks in this draft. Like guys, just fuck it, let's take a shot on the safety.
But they're just so overlooked.
That second guy could come in. Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Well, hey,
Hey.
that does it
Woo!
for episode 62, our second ever mock draft special.
Special.
Go to Instagram, check out our mock drafts that are already posted because we posted them on Wednesday or whatever. We posted them whenever. I don't know when we posted them, but they're already there. If you didn't have enough time, if you just skip through the video, go to Instagram, go like our social media, share, interact with us on Instagram, ask us questions, do whatever you got to do. A brand new age of NBC is incoming.
Finn's already getting ready for that kiss, baby. He's missed it.
A kiss.